Hello and welcome to the Priory School. Huge welcome to new parents, parents of Year 6s who don't currently have any students at our school. This is actually a record year for siblings. We have nearly half of the year group coming up in September who have siblings here already. So a welcome as well to parents who know the school a little bit already, and hopefully that means we're doing something right if you're happy to send your next child to us as well. We're looking forward to welcoming your children here in September, and such a huge shame that we haven't been able to meet them in person this summer. We're really gutted not to be able to have them on site, and also after having missed the open evening, a live open evening, and us not being able to have any tours for you guys to be able to come in and see the school in action. We will do our best to address that in September if the opportunity allows. So this evening is an opportunity for you to hear from myself a little, also from Mr. Edwards, Geraint Edwards, the head teacher, and also from Angharad Harrison, who will be your child's head of Year 7 next year. There are also some short video clips from each of the 7 Year 7 tutors who will be in place from September, so you can learn a little bit more about them. So without further ado, the first address you will hear will be from Geraint Edwards, the head teacher.
Welcome to our virtual transition event. I did not think 12 months on I'd be doing my second transition event online. I'm Geraint Edwards and I'm in the 8th year of headship at the Priory School. This year we were planning for a more traditional event, but once again the increase in infection rate amongst young people and the challenges of hosting up to 28 primary schools have seen a move to the virtual experience. This has been a county-wide agreement between secondary, primary schools working hand in hand with the local authority. A large number of our primary school students who are coming to us in Year 7 have signed up to the summer school, which will allow them to develop relationships, get to know staff and build new friendships. So hopefully they will have those experiences. The transition from primary to secondary school is the start of a new chapter in the educational journey of your child. The whole process should be viewed as an exciting challenge, where your child has the opportunity to step out of their comfort zone and apply their skills and knowledge in a new learning environment. Many of this incoming year group have siblings at the Priory School, and our extensive outreach work with our main primary feeder schools has ensured that many of our new students know the school and key members of staff. In any new relationship, it is important to know what the expectations are. I'm a fan of the author Matthew Said, and in his book, Black Box Thinking, he looks at the issues of success and that we cannot grow unless we are prepared to learn from our mistakes. As a parent, a professional, and a leader of a large institution, it's important that I develop a culture that allows people to make mistakes so that we can evaluate what went wrong and then how best to move forward. We expect our students and staff to be resilient, to take responsibility and to learn from the mistakes they make so they can develop and make the right progress. We have a clear behaviour for learning policy which we expect all students to follow. Good learning is positively rewarded and poor behaviour is sanctioned. The consequence system applies to all students and we expect full parental support over this. If a student is not in school, then they are missing learning opportunities. We expect that students' attendance should be 96% plus. This is even more important than ever due to the loss of learning over the last 16 months. As adults, we have to be organised for work. The expectation is the same for students. Homework completed, bags packed with the appropriate equipment and punctual to school and lessons. Academic success is a key that opens doors, but it's also the softer skills that secures a successful future. We must never forget that we're operating in a global economy and your child will be competing in a global market for future career opportunities. You may be thinking, why am I mentioning something that will take place 7 years' time? But secondary school flies by. I can remember the day my son started at the Priory School, and from September he'll be in Year 11. Ask yourself what else you can do outside school hours to enrich the learning experience of your child. Sports, drama, music, debating, coding clubs, scouting, cadets and volunteering are just some examples. I know at the moment this is not fully possible due to the COVID situation, but more opportunities are opening up. I'm privileged to work with an excellent staff who have the professional dedication and ability to ensure that all students can access the curriculum and make progress. If there's one silver lining to come out of the COVID-19 lockdown, it has been the rapid development of our online and blended learning. All students at the Priory School will by September have a Chromebook. We are one of the handful of secondary schools in Hertfordshire that find ourselves in this situation. We believe in developing strong relationships with parents because you have the most influence on how your child will develop. I strongly urge you to read the key school policies that can be found on the school website. The Priory School is big. We have over 1,200 students, 162 members of staff, and to ensure that the organisation runs effectively, we have clear communication structures. If you have a concern or unsure about something, then contact details of key members of staff are on the website. If you phone the school, you'll have a directory of choices to choose from. We aim to respond to any communication within 48 working hours, even if it's just a holding statement in the first instance. But please remember that teachers teach and pastoral support team have pre-planned meetings. If you turn up to the school without an appointment, then it's highly unlikely that you'll be seen. We're no different from the doctors, dentists and even banks. If your child is not being set homework, work is not being marked, or you feel that you're not being charged enough in lessons, please contact that subject teacher in the first instance. Of course, you might just want to contact a member of staff and say thank you for all the hard work being done to support your child. If you have a pastoral concern, then the normal communication route is first the form tutor, then the head of year, and then the head of Key Stage 3. There is a culture in society of automatically going to the top when raising an issue. In the vast amount of cases, if you contact me, I'll just delegate it back down the chain to whoever has responsibility for that area. The leadership team have a very good oversight of what is going on, and so we'll pick up and monitor issues that are flagged up. I meet with my leadership team daily. We must never lose sight that we're dealing with young people who are feeling their way forward in a complex world heightened by the onset of becoming teenagers. We are the adults and the role models, and we have the moral responsibility to guide them through this stage of their life. COVID-19 lockdown and the loss of schooling in Year 6 will have impacted children to varying degrees. Please don't worry about this, because we have the expertise to ensure that the gaps will be caught up. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my message, and I look forward to seeing all my new Year 7s in September. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Lawrence Foster. I'm Deputy Head Teacher here at Priory School, and my role involves overseeing behaviour and attendance, which I'd like to talk to you a little bit about in this address. Also, I, over the last few weeks, have been partly responsible for the visits to the primary schools. We have 28 feeder primary schools, feeding into a 210 strong year group in September to come. And with myself and Mrs. Harrison and one or two other staff, we visited all of those schools, and they've been kind enough to invite us in and meet your children, which has been a fantastic experience and is really a really powerful way for us to get to know them a little bit more before they start in September. The last year has been for all of us, but for our children, our school-going children, none more so than them, has been a real challenge. Lots of homeschooling, lots of personal and private difficulties for people to deal with, and for you guys as families as well. Homeschooling, juggling work and homeschooling at the same time has been a real challenge. And we really hope that we're over that crest of that hill now, and can look forward to hopefully an uninterrupted year in September when we begin with the new cohort coming to us. The transition experience for your children this year has obviously been interrupted by COVID. We have done our best at quite short notice when we were told that we weren't allowed the on-site transition day to send a few activities to your child's primary school. We hope that they have found the opportunity to run through some of those activities on the day itself, on the 8th of July. There may well also be some of those activities that come home. There's a booklet of resources which we've produced and put together, which allow your child to reflect a little bit on their primary school days and also on the sorts of things they may need to consider when they're coming up to secondary school. None of this will ever replace an in-person transition day, and it's a real shame not to have been able to have them on site, but we hope it at least gives them a little bit of a flavour. We're conscious as well that on this evening you normally would be able to come into school as parents and meet some key staff and speak to them a little bit about some of your questions and queries you may have, especially after your child would have spent the day here, meeting their peers, their new friends, and meeting some teachers. This year obviously that isn't possible. One thing that we are acutely aware of is that, especially if you are a parent of a child coming to year 7 for the first time in your family, there is some element of transition for you as parents too. And to see your child moving from year 6 into year 7 and into the secondary school setting can bring some anxieties and some questions for you as parents too. We are aware of that, and also that the environment in a secondary school is somewhat different to a primary school, in that face-to-face contact with teachers is a bit less, we're a bit less accessible, I guess, than maybe primary schools are, in that there aren't the sort of end of the playground, pick up conversations that you may have at primary school. We are always available to answer your queries and your questions, should you have any of those, so please do get in touch. We don't want you to feel like you are at arm's length now, just because this is a bigger institution. Maybe your child is bringing themselves to school without any support from you, and dropping them off and picking them up from school. So you may feel sort of one step removed, but please do get in touch with us if you have any questions or queries, and we want to make the transition as smooth as possible for everybody. So I'm here today in one of our 8 science labs in the school. I'm a science teacher, biology teacher by trade, but I also, as I said earlier, have responsibilities for behaviour and attendance. And this would have been one of the rooms where your children would have come in on transition day and had a go at a science lesson, meeting one of our science teachers. We hope to be able to replicate something on their first day back in September. So for your child in September, school will start for them on Thursday, the 2nd of September. And we hope to put together a programme for them that allows them to find their way around school, meet some teachers, do a few sample lessons, and of course get to know each other, and hopefully ease off some of those first day nerves that they've got. You will be receiving another letter from me before the end of term, and that will detail for you the sorts of things you need to remember over the summer holiday. There are some of you I know who have signed up, many of you have signed up for the summer activity week in August, so you will be sent details for that too. But the letter will otherwise let you know about things like uniform and organisation of things like pencil cases and water bottles and bags and uniform reminders and all of those sorts of things, so you can make sure that everybody's happy on day 1. And also the sorts of events that we hope to run in September, which, COVID permitting, will allow you to come into school and meet some of us too. Normally at this time of year and on transition day, your child would find out which tutor group that they are going to be part of for next year. We've made a decision this year that because your children haven't had the chance to come in and meet each other, see the school and meet their teachers, that actually we feel it would be more beneficial for them to know their form group when they are able to do that, so they will find out in September when they come on their first day. The next thing I would like to talk about is behaviour and our expectations as a school. We pride ourselves on the behaviour of the students here being good, and that comes through positive relationships between the staff and the students, and between the student groups themselves, and we try to promote that as much as possible. However, this is a community with 1,200 young people and also over 200 staff, and sometimes things don't quite go right. So we will do our best to support children who are struggling in any way, but it's important just to stress to you as parents from the start that we have a behaviour policy which we will use when we need to. And that involves consequences for actions, it involves detentions at times, it may involve meetings and phone calls and emails to you as parents to let you know what's been going on in school. We do our best to work around problems and find out what the root cause of problems are, and then try to eliminate those moving forward. The behaviour in the school largely is very, very good, but like in any school, there are occasionally blips. A very important message I would like to give to you as parents is that if your child is involved in an incident, and it may be that you find out from them when they come home from school and say, "Mum, Dad, this happened at school today," that I strongly urge you to, when you make contact with the school and you communicate with us, that you phone, you email to ask us and to inquire about what is our understanding of the incident that has occurred. Sometimes parents take a line of, rather than a line of inquiry, they take a line of accusation to say this has happened or that has happened, and my child has come home and told me that this is what happened today. I'm not telling you that what your child has said is necessarily wrong or that your child is lying, but very, very often what you hear at home, there is another side to the story, and it's very important that you hear what we've managed to find out at school, or allow us to go and find out some more information, and so we can find out sort of some more facts and some more opinions, and some maybe speak to other students or staff to find out the details of what's happened in an incident while we work out exactly what has gone on. So I really urge you to communicate with us in a way which means that we work together, and that between yourselves as parents, us as a school, and also your child, that we form a relationship, that we're working together in order to move your child forward. And sometimes that might mean that we have to consequence your child according to our policy. There will be some rules in the school which you as parents, or that your child, that you don't like and that you don't agree with and that you don't feel like should be in place. I prefer, rather than to worry about whether you agree with a rule or you don't agree with the rule, the culture that we like to develop with our young people is that here is a set of rules, and whether you agree with them or not, these are the rules to which the people in our community try to stick to. And often the example I give to young people in the school at times is I say, look, there are some roads out there that are 30 miles an hour, and some drivers would say to you, I don't think that's the right speed limit for this road, and I think actually I should be able to drive faster on this road. I don't agree with that law. Now, whether you agree with that law or you don't, if you're driving 40 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour road, then you are consequenced by the police. The same thing applies in school. Whether you agree with a rule or not, the rules are the rules. And whilst of course we take into account mitigating circumstances, and we try to be flexible where it's appropriate, if your child breaks our rules, we do our best to work with them, but there may be consequences that follow. And I would ask that you respect that and have those conversations with them. And by all means, speak to us if you want any clarity over what any of our rules are. One of my other responsibilities in school is to oversee the attendance of the students here. Now, with 1,200 students in the school, attendance is not something which is a straightforward operation for us to run. There are often a small number of families and young people who have very genuine and very good reasons for not being at school all the time, but we are of the opinion that if your child is not in school, they're not learning. So we will try to encourage your child into school as much as possible. If your child has a snuffle or a bit of a tummy bug, generally speaking, and it's been tricky in the last year with COVID and all sorts of other symptoms kicking around, generally speaking, for small and minor illnesses where your child still feels able to come to school, we would like them to come to school. Where your child falls below certain levels of attendance, we have an aspirational target of 96%, which means your child missing no more than 7 days across the school year. But where they drop below particular thresholds, then we will be in contact with you, and we are driven by the law, and we're driven by Herts County guidance as to where we go with that process. So whilst we're very happy to have open dialogue with you in a conversation, if as a school we're not content that the reasons for absence are good enough, then that will be something which we have to pick up on, and we're legally bound to do so. Again, I would urge that if you feel your child is off school for a particular reason, then you communicate that with us, and so that we know, and then we can keep that dialogue open, and then there are no nasty surprises for anybody. That's about it from me. Thank you for listening, and I hope that the presentations that you hear this evening are of some use to you. If you would like to ask us some more questions about anything to do with transition and your child starting in September, please use the Google form link which was sent in the letter to you earlier this week, and I and other staff will do our best to get an answer back to you as soon as possible. Really looking forward to seeing a number of your children at the activity days in the summer. Fingers crossed nothing gets in the way that's going to stop those from happening. In the meantime, may I wish your children all the best for the end of Year 6 as they finish their primary school years, and wish you all a fantastic summer. I hope you manage to have a good break, and managed to hopefully go away somewhere. And we look forward to meeting all of your children and hopefully you in September. You're next going to hear from Mrs. Harrison, who will be head of Year 7 for next year, and also then hear a few snippets from the Year 7 tutors. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ingrid Harrison and I'll be the head of Year 7 in September. I believe that students thrive when they are feeling confident in their surroundings, and so in September we will have a keen focus on helping the students to feel settled and part of a team within their tutor group. Their first day in particular will include a number of getting to know you activities and opportunities to make new friends. They will be supported by our excellent peer mentors in Year 10, who will join them in their forms, helping them find their way around the site and sharing their experiences of life at the Priory School. The Year 10s have received training on how to ensure everyone feels included and help boost the confidence of those feeling a little unsure. They are so excited to start this role and meet your children. Throughout your children's time at the Priory, we will be celebrating their successes with trips and activities that have previously included It's a Knockout style competitions, trips to water parks and theme parks. At the end of Year 7, we will have a residential trip to bushcraft, where the students will learn den building and survival skills whilst camping in the middle of a wood. They come back exhausted, filthy and having had lots of fun. Our TPS challenge is a chance for our students to fully engage with life at the Priory School by earning badges for contributions they make to school life. This ranges from taking part in a musical activity within the school to being able to say hello in 5 different languages. There are different levels of awards that can be achieved as the students continue through the year groups, and it builds on the skills we look for when the students have the chance to complete the Duke of Edinburgh Award or World Challenge in Year 9, with chances to visit places like Morocco or India. We are sad not to be able to welcome the students to our transition day in July. It means they will instead meet their form tutors for the first time in September. We have sent a pack of resources to the primary schools for the students to complete. It includes activities designed to support and prepare them for their transition to the Priory School, that they can complete in their primary schools, at home over the summer, and then bring back in to us in September. We will use these to help us to get to know them and for them to get to know each other. They will be the second group of Year 7 students who are starting with us with the Chromebooks and experiencing our blended learning within the classroom. We will be using these Chromebooks to be able to bring a range of knowledge and experience into their classrooms, which allows us greater flexibility and creativity with our teaching methods. This can include virtual trips to theatres or museums across the globe, online class quizzes through Kahoot, and exploring other countries through Google Earth. The students are becoming independent, technologically savvy students in preparation for a future that we can already see is becoming more and more dependent on technology. They will receive lots of support and training on how to use these devices and the full Google suite that we use regularly as part of our teaching methods. It may be slightly different from their experience of computing in primary school, so we'll help them to get there. I'm very excited to meet your children again in September and starting their journey at the Priory School with them. It's a time of great change but great opportunities, and together we will help it to be as successful as possible.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Creek. I'm the head of music here at the Priory School. I've worked here for about 15 years now, and I've been a Year 7 tutor quite a few times. Both of my children have been to the Priory School, and they were the only ones from their primary schools that came here, and they've had a brilliant time and done really, really well. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all in September. A few things about me, if you can remember it by the time I see you next. I really love giraffes, and my favourite food is chocolate. Have a great summer, and I'll see you all soon.
Hello everyone. I'm Miss Lopez, and next year I'll be a Year 7 form tutor at the Priory School. I'm a Spanish and French teacher at the Priory School. I've been working here for a year now, and I'll tell you a little bit more about me. I'm from Argentina. I've been living here in the UK for the last 8 years, and unfortunately I haven't met Messi yet. But I've been at Rosario where he was born a couple of times, and I love working in my garden, traveling, reading books, and I'm very looking forward to meeting you all next year. Bye bye.
Hello Year 6s, I hope you're having a lovely day. My name is Mr. Maidham and I have been teaching at the Priory now for 1 year. I teach PE and a little bit of design technology, so you'll see me running around the field and also chopping some wood up in the workshop as well. My favourite sports are rugby and trampolining, and an interesting fact about me is I can do a double and a triple backflip. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you lot in September. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, hola, bonjour. I'm Miss Perez and I'm going to be a Year 7 form tutor next year. This is my second year at the Priory school where I teach languages, mainly Spanish and French. And well, let me tell you a bit about me. I love traveling, I love hiking, and I love listening to music. And that's a bit about me. So I'll see you all in September. Can't wait to meeting you. Bye, adios.
So hello, my name's Miss Havelange. I'm a art teacher and going to be your assistant head of year, excitingly, in September. I've been here for 6 years. My interests, I'm a keen runner and cook. I do some cookery teaching here too. And have a lovely baby who is 10 months old. I'm sure he'll be a lot older when I see you guys. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in September. Can't wait for you to start.
Hello Year Sixes, my name is Mrs Parsons. I have been teaching at the Priory School since 2012, so 9 years, which is longer than you guys have actually been at school. A bit scary. Things I like doing, I like running and swimming and playing netball, and have 3 little girls at home that keep me very, very busy. Now I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person in September and finding out some more about you. So have a great summer and we will catch up in September. Bye.
Hi, I'm Mr Hankin. I'm a computing teacher and lead practitioner for blended learning. So I look after Chromebooks for the school. So the Chromebooks you're getting next year. If you've got any questions, you know who to come to. I've been here for 5 years, and some of my hobbies and things that I do outside of school include climbing and kayaking, walking, a lot that we bring back into school for DOE and some of the outdoor ed activities that you can take part in. Look forward to meeting you in September.
That's the end of the presentations for this evening. We hope it's been useful. Please do have a look on the school website in the information and Year 7 transition section for any further updates, and the booklets which your children have been given for their transition day hopefully will come home, and there's some more information in there for you and them to browse through, and some more activities for them to complete over the summer if you have time to do so. We look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you very much. Good night.